Well, welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. As always, here I'm your host, Calvin Glen Alexander. And on tonight's episode of the podcast, joined by my dad, got to talk about the Eric Morris coaching hire here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Dad, how's it going?
Going well.
Awesome. Well, what you've been alive longer than I have, of course, but what do you think about the Oklahoma State hire from a season ticket holder for 20 plus years?
I think all the speculation wore me down to the point that it's like, okay, great. Um, it seems like we were circling three candidates that all would have been interesting in their own ways. I kind of like Morris of the three that were most often mentioned. Texas quarterback to go with him possibly, and the fact that he's had a lot of Big 12 experience. Put those three together, and that seems to be a pretty good mix and a good way to predict how it'll do long term.
Yeah, I personally have been really hoping it was Eric Morris. Kind of for a while now. There was a UCF guy I had on named Roger Phipps who worked with UCF and knows kind of Alex Golesh or knows him through some players that he has on his podcast. And they did not have rave reviews about Alex Golesh. I'll say it that way. And so to me, it was awesome to hear that it is Eric Morris. That kind of soured me a little bit on Golesh with the UCF news, how Golesh was there at UCF. Although granted, everything changes, but I am ecstatic that it's Morris here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Like you said, a guy who knows the area extremely well, is well versed in the NIL landscape, and seems to be able to be a guy that everyone's excited about. I mean, you've got every single Oklahoma State fan tweeting online, crashing the Pistols firing website. I saw Marshall tweet out about Marshall Scott not too long ago, bringing it up. So we know all of the donors and all of the fun stuff here is ready to keep rolling in.
He seems to have a good knack of finding ways to work with great quarterbacks. The one that he's developed that made him with him sounds like just an amazing kid. And then the other ones he had at Texas Tech, I mean, you look at that, they can murder throw quarterbacks that were just phenomenal at Tech. Those were years where Oklahoma State beat Tech pretty regularly. I mean, once you get past Crabtree, the chances of LSU winning were pretty high, and some of those games were off the charts in terms of wins. But he was talented when he was there. He has that lineage from Leach. There's a whole lot there that I think we're all going to like, and I like the fact that he has that offensive background. And that'll get the fan base really excited, and no doubt about it. And hopefully we'll be able to get back down some of those recruits that wanted to have an offensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, we've got some comments here rolling in, so feel free to ask any questions and all that good type of stuff here as it goes forward. I'm really excited too because now, of course, we have an offense like that is all of a sudden just kind of figured out. So love that as well here because I got to say, watching the defense in the Jim Knowles years, I guess, too, we're fun and we're great and we kind of made our name for ourselves. But the Baylor, Big 12 championship game where our offense just could not get over the hump. Now, granted, Jalen Warren injuries and other stuff going on, but it just seemed like we had a quarterback who was extremely versatile and we couldn't use him all the right ways. And now we bring in an offensive coordinator, head coach, guy who's worked with, as you said, plenty of guys here, been at Incarnate Word, was a guy who was around Cam Ward, John Mateer a little bit. There's just a lot of crossover here. Excuse me on the Mateer part, but it was around Cam Ward. And I'm really excited for it. Like it's a new era here in Stillwater for sure.
Yeah, I like that ton. And the other two that were out there, Golesh, a lot of people like him a ton. And I mean, it seemed like that would be someone from outside the area. Maybe he would be just world class. But this guy seems to have the same kind of pedigree. And then Zach Robinson, at the first research, I was really high on him. I mean, that would be a home run hire. And it seemed like, maybe down the road he will be a guy that's going to be ready to come in and take on a job at Oklahoma State. But I think overall, this is a really good hire. It's a really good opportunity for Morris. You look at Oklahoma State's job, you hear some of the national media talking about how it's one of the fun jobs in the country. Just don't go to Oklahoma State. This is a school that even when you have rare, and rare in this century, rare down years.
Yeah, I think you cut out a little bit there, so I'm just going to continue. This is an incredible spot for Oklahoma State to be in, to be able to hire a sitting head coach per Carson Cunningham. First time since 1969, OSU has hired a sitting head coach, 13 seasons as a head coach or offense coordinator, top 5 passing offense in the country 9 times, top 10 in total offense 10 times, and top 25 scoring offense 10 times out of 13 seasons. That's just an incredible stuff you're able to hear about. The other stuff here that I want to say, and we'll wrap this up by 5, so we're going to get to the Coastal Skies podcast here when that comes on, just to say is that I think you're talking about the Greg McElroy earlier today, where he is talking about how highly known and highly renowned the Oklahoma State job is by the right people. It seems like the people that are not too well versed in the Big 12 landscape or too well versed in the Oklahoma landscape of sports were not as high on the Oklahoma State job and talking up the UCLA job or the Arkansas job or whatever it may be. But it's exciting to see a guy who's bringing a group of 5 teams to the college football playoffs, it seems, at least right now, is going to coach them throughout the rest of the season there, so it's on amicable terms. And this is also he's been hired at Oklahoma State. This is an official Oklahoma State tweet that's been put out. There's no more speculation. What seems like forever long ago, where Gundy was the head coach, but it seems like it was just forever ago that he was the head coach, just a long season with not a win since Gundy was the head coach, that I'm really excited to see Oklahoma State here, really back at the front runner, and I think making some noise here. I'm curious what other teams would be against Eric Morris, or if any slant against him whatsoever. Because to me, it's all on the up and up. This is how most guys get hired. I mean, you hire on a Joey McGuire type of guy at Texas Tech, who works his way up through the system and becomes a guru of sorts or a great coach, and all the type of stuff is just great. It's just I think that I'm getting at the Zach Robinson hire that could have been when I'm saying all of that. I kind of started thinking about Zach Robinson as the head coach for Oklahoma State, and I thought, man, if this goes south, it's probably at least 5 years where we give him the long leash. And I'm now, I got to say, I'm sure you could tell me better here, but I'm okay with not having to wait 5 years to see if a guy's good or not, or 2 to 3 years. And that may be the whole deal here with this guy, with Morris. It may be a while. Like, the cupboard may be really bare at Oklahoma State, where we've got to really build up the pipeline of talent and stuff. But I hope that Morris is able to bring in his quarterback and Mestamaker and a bunch of other guys down there just in Denton, Texas, a couple hours away, to come up to Stillwater here, hopefully for some more NIL money, and definitely for some more national TV games that they're able to get on and see and be really shown well. And we have state-of-the-art facilities. We have some of the best coaches in the entire nation. And you know what? It's a great hire. I think it's a great, we're able to flip it on its head. 2 years of bad Oklahoma State football. But next year, I mean, I'm not saying college football playoffs, but I'm saying a bowl game. I mean, from one win on a season to a bowl game doesn't seem too crazy with how the Big 12 is every single year, and with just how everyone can transfer all the time, too.
And he has such good connections. I think that to build the program up in North Texas, I mean, they were great in the days of Joe Green, a few years back. They'd have players on off to make them someone that might be competitive to get one of those Group 5, Group 6 spots to be in the playoffs. But the thought that we have someone coming in that knows the area, fired up. I've looked at a couple of the reviews online. USA Today gives us an A-, which is a pretty nice review. And I think, like I said, everybody that I've heard talk about nationally and friends that I have, everything's been really positive. And we know that's just a short little hop. Get to Oklahoma City and get to Stillwater and get to all the places that they need to recruit up here. But having those recruits down south come with them and creating more pipeline with those recruits is fantastic. I love that part.
Yeah, and for anyone who's, oh, it's such a college town, there's nothing to do in Stillwater or whatever, like you said, Tulsa and Oklahoma City are an hour away each. There's 2 direct flights to DFW every day from Stillwater, Oklahoma, with free parking. I'm well known in that area. So I got to say, it is a small world when you're in Stillwater, Oklahoma. It's not like there's no airports or there's nothing to do or it's just absolutely absent of everything. Thunder are a good 45, 50 minutes down the road. And all of a sudden you're in one of the biggest metropolitan cities in the United States, and it's really not. It's not Lubbock, Texas, is what I'm getting at. But Lubbock, Texas, is also a 300,000 person city, and Stillwater's 50,000. So you get that great college experience, college atmosphere. And I'm not trying to put down Texas Tech. I'm just saying, like, Stillwater can be talked down or talked up, depending on how you want to sell it. But for someone who commutes to Stillwater daily, I'm going to talk it up because there's a lot of great things here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, a lot of great things to bring in recruits. And if you're a guy who's all about the right things, it shouldn't matter what else is in the city. It could be the greatest city on earth, could be wherever, but it shouldn't matter from that aspect. It should matter who the coach is, what kind of quality program they're building, and then what your needs and wants are as a student athlete. I mean, whether that be recovery and facilities and how are we going to build you to be a pro?
What do you think, moving the major staff he's going to have? Any thought or rumors about a possible defensive coordinator that was once at Oklahoma State and may not be as active with Penn State as he was in the last couple of years for Iowa State, et cetera? Any chance that we get him headed over?
I think there's a chance. I always think there's a chance. I believe Jim Knowles' wife is from Oklahoma. I don't think Jim Knowles is from Oklahoma, but I know his wife was really wanting him to get back to Oklahoma at some point, maybe to retire there. But now, hey, maybe to be the DC at Oklahoma State. Come on back and bring back that 2021 that Brendan Evers talked so fondly of on a podcast I did not too long ago. And you've got Shane Illingworth talking highly about the defensive coordinator, as a quarterback. Um, Zach Veach was also talking highly about Oklahoma State's defense the year she was in Stillwater. Granted, it wasn't with Jim Knowles, but there are multiple players who talk really, really highly of him, really, really highly of his experience and stuff. And you know what? Maybe Jim Knowles is really, really good at getting guys to be a little bit better or a lot better than they are. But hey, maybe Penn State was just had a lot going on. I don't know what we're going to make the 1 year of Jim Knowles at Penn State as the coach, where UCLA comes back and beats them and whatever. But I'm willing to say Jim Knowles at Oklahoma State is a home run hire for defensive coordinator because he won the national championship last year as a defensive coordinator. Like this year he won't, but last year he did. So he takes a year gap of winning this national championship game as a DC and then comes to Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'd be all for it. I know Nathan Gilslider from the Reload podcast has been out there tweeting about it as well too, or at least replying to people's tweets that Jim Knowles is interviewing to be the head coach of Oklahoma State, and I see Nathan in there replying to people saying DC. So I'm gonna pop that up as much as I can here because that sounds awesome. That would be I think the chef's kiss to put all of this to bed.
I like that. And moving down the road a little bit, when you think about Chad Weiber and the legacy that he's building, how difficult would it have been to deal with the identity situation? I think we all love my identity. I can't wait to have a standing ovation last 10 minutes when he comes back and the field's named after him, statue, whatever they do to honor him. I mean, he took the program to unprecedented bumps. It was just, we had Jimmy Johnson as a coach one day. We had other coaches that were great, but Gundy was our best coach ever. And to navigate that, and come out of this and the incredible momentum we have with the hire for wrestling, off the charts good hire. Basketball looks fantastic with us back in the Lux had a late start, and he's off last year. And this year, he's off sprinting. Looks fantastic. You look at some of the other programs that we have, golf national champions. Track we have a couple athletes in our track team. Hopefully, people are paying attention to that are set records that never be beaten ever as far as the winning they've done. The athletic department is in great shape, and I don't know 3 months ago if I thought we'd be anywhere near this game that we are right now. The fact that Weiber got ahead of it and ripped the Band-Aid off after the Tulsa game, a lot of criticism for that. But tons of other programs did the same thing. Here we are, in fourth Turkey Day, we've already got a new head coach, and we've got a bright future, a lot of momentum. Let's get after it.
Yeah, let's really just be excited as Oklahoma State fans, because we can be excited for a while about the promise and the hope of a new head coach. But I'm going to bring Chad Weiberg here, our athletic director for Oklahoma State, in case anyone doesn't know. I don't know how you don't know at this point, because he's had every home run hire. But I'm going to just read his quote here about the hire itself. Today begins the next era of Oklahoma State football. I'm thrilled to introduce Eric Morris, his wife Maggie, and their boys, Jack and George, to the OSU family. Coach Morris has proven the ability to build and lead winning football programs. He has consistently identified, recruited, and developed some of the best players in college football for many reasons, including the kind of person he is and the lasting relationships he builds with his players. Coach Morris is the perfect fit as the next leader of Cowboy football. The future is bright for OSU football, and I look forward to introducing him and his family to our team, our former players, and all Cowboy fans. So I just kind of want to end it there, because Pistols Firing Podcast, they're about to go live here in just 2 minutes or less here with Carson and Colby. So really just I think this is just a home run hire, and I think this is a string of home run hires here for Chad Weiberg and team. I don't know how this could go bad, but this is not the time to talk about that. This is the time to be excited, be joyful, be into Oklahoma State football. If you were kind of out on some of Gundy's comments or antics over the years, whatever it may have been, that kind of deterred some, this is the time to get back on board and get back in the stands. Not that we weren't filling up the stadium anyways. We're making a pretty darn good push for it. So any other final thoughts here as we wrap this one up here? It's the emergency Eric Morris hire by Chad Weiberg.
I just see us doing more high five next year than we've done all season. In the first game, we'll have more than we've had all season at OSU. So great hire, great job Oklahoma State, and for the faithful, we're in good hands. It seems like both with the AD and the coach.
Oh, and there was one comment earlier I just wanted to highlight real quick here before we wrap this one up. Hang on, it was this one. Yes, she is, very much so. Thank you. Anyways,
was it you or was your wife or my wife? I'd say yes for both.
Well, thanks. I can't say it the same way. I can definitely say about my wife for sure. So, Dad, thanks so much for joining here on the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. If you're not already, follow at the CGA Tour wherever you listen to podcasts. Go check out the Carson and Colby Pistols Firing Podcast. They're going live right now here. Thanks so much for everyone for tuning in, and go Pokes.
Go Pokes.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow Poke helping you protect what matters most.